All right, tonight we're taking an in-depth look at the global supply chain crisis and why there are so many snags in the chain. CBS's Carter Evans and Ramy Inocencio teamed up to track goods on their long trip from China to the U.S. So we begin across the globe with Ramy Inocencio in Hong Kong. Hi, Ramy.
Norah, hi, that's right. The early warnings that we're hearing for American consumers to buy their holiday gifts early really is the result of a perfect storm. The pandemic here in China shuttered a lot of factories, but Americans stuck at home and still with money to burn actually bought more goods. Add to that the shortage of containers, ships, and power. That's both electrical and man-made.
The manufacturing metropolis of Guangzhou, China, is where these high-performance speakers began their long journey to the United States. On a good day, workers here build and box up 2,000 speakers, as long as the electricity is on.
If we're shut down for more than 15 minutes, then it creates a headache.
American Philip Richardson runs the factory and says random power outages plaguing China are costing him time and money. A generator keeps the factory running.
So electricity from a generator for our application costs me at least 4 times more per hour.
China is trying to cut carbon emissions, but cuts in coal production have led to record prices. Utility companies are not allowed to raise their fees to match. Since they can't make money, they stop making electricity. By the time Richardson's speakers finally leave the factory and head to a Chinese port, there's a different power problem: manpower. For every 2 weeks on the job, dock workers spend 3 weeks off, in quarantine.
They can be exposed to the COVID virus coming in through the supply chain. So that's what China is worried about.
One of the world's busiest cargo terminals is right there in mainland China. It's called Yantian, and it is so important to U.S.-China trade. That's because about a quarter of all the goods the U.S. buys from China gets processed through this one port.
After a 2-week journey across the Pacific, most container ships end up here. I'm Carter Evans at the Port of Los Angeles. When they finally dock and unload, the containers are stacked as far as the eye can see, waiting several days for trucks and trains to carry them across the country. By the time those speakers from China finally land at Alto Music in Middletown, New York.
So all this stuff comes from Phil's factory?
Yep. Months have passed, and CEO John Haber says he's paying a hefty premium for shipping.
Now it costs like $25,000 and takes 90 days.
So it takes longer and it costs like 5 times as much.
That's what a bargain. That's unbelievable.
These tiny electronic components are critical for another one of Haber's products.
This is more valuable than gold to us.
But due to shortages overseas,
I'm sending them to China so they can make my products.
and send it back to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
That sounds crazy.
It's nuts.
To avoid losing money, he's already raising prices.
Do you think they'll come back down? I mean, I've been doing this 30-something years. I never saw a manufacturer raise the price. Oh, we're sorry, we feel bad, we're going to bring them back down. Once they go up, they're staying up.
And Americans addicted to fast and cheap Chinese goods are going to continue paying higher prices, at least until the backlog here at the port eases. Right now, there are 77 container ships just waiting to get in here and unload, and more on the way. Norah?
Really fascinating. We should make more of that here in America. All right, thanks, Carter.